Good afternoon, everybody. This is Singletrack magazine. My name's Will, and we're broadcasting from the Singletrack Magical Studio. I've got a bike here that I want to talk to you about, and I would like to invite you who are watching via Facebook Live at the moment. If you've got any questions about this bike as we go along, by all means, submit them in the comments section, and my handy assistant, Marky Mark, will read them out for me. But yes, this is the Pace RC127 Plus. Now, it's a steel hardtail, as you can probably tell. It's from Pace Cycles, obviously a brand many British mountain bikers will be familiar with. Been around for a long time, since the 80s, I believe. And they've had a bit of a resurgence the last few years with a couple of key models, including the RC127, the RC129, and this bike, the 127 Plus. Now, as the name implies, this is a Plus compatible hardtail, but it's not quite the Plus you're probably thinking of. The term that we've come up for this frame is British Plus, because this frame is ideally optimized around 2.6 inch wide tires. 27.5, but 2.6 inch. Now, when a lot of people hear Plus tires, they're thinking maybe 2.8, probably 3 inch wide tires. That won't fit into this frame. Technically, you can get a 2.8 into the back, but if it's on a particularly wide rim or if it's a particularly aggressive tire on the back, you're going to run out of room. This bike is best designed around 2.6 inch tires. So we've been testing it with a bunch of different tires. At the moment, we've actually got a 2.4 DHR wide trail on the back. We've got a 2.8 inch DHR2 on the front. So a bit of a mishmash that we're running here. It's a steel frame, so it's running Reynolds 853 tubing. It's nice and slack. It's got a 65-degree head angle on the front, so no twitchy cross-country bike here. This is a trail bike. It's designed for fun. It's designed for just mountain biking. Not downhill, not cross-country racing, not enduro or anything like that. It's just a mountain bike, and it's a really good one too. You may have already read the review of this. It's actually gone up on singletrackworld.com in the last week. And if you want to find out more information about this and you want to hear predominantly David's thoughts, who's been spending most of his time on this bike, then jump on the website and check out the review. We're running it with a 140mm travel fork. Now, the RC127 Plus will take 130 to 150mm travel on the front, so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to set it up and how you want to ride it. We've split the difference with a 140mm fork. This is a Fox 34. But it's the 27.5 Plus version, so it's quite a bit wider, boost hub spacing, but there's loads of clearance in the front here. I'm just going to swivel this front wheel around if you can see this on the camera. This is a 2.8 inch tire in here, so this is not a small tire. You can tell how much clearance there is inside the bridge here. That's great for mud clearance, but it does mean you can run an even fatter tire up front if you really want to. We found the 2.8 DHR2 a really, really good Plus tire. Traditionally, Plus tires, not so good in mud. And to be honest, for a lot of British mountain bikers, the whole Plus thing seems a bit overhyped, I would say, and probably not ideal for wet conditions. But more recently, we've had some Plus tires, such as the DHR2. Also, the high rollers come out. We've got some options from some knobblier options from Schwalbe as well. Specialized, loads of brands that are getting into this Plus tire thing, but providing tread patterns that are designed for softer conditions, not just hard pack. And as a result, you've now got a Plus tire that can actually handle in the mud really, really well. Have we got any questions come through, Mark? Anything coming through there?
How long has it been since Pace last released a frame? That's Adam Humphries.
Well, that would probably be the RC129. If you mean, just to clarify that question, if you mean when's the latest frame that they've released, that would be the RC129. And that's actually an interesting question that you bring up, because the RC129 and the RC127 Plus are actually the same frame. They're the same Reynolds 853 steel tubing. It's the same geometry. They're available in small, medium and large. That means that this bike is compatible with 29 inch wheels as well as 27.5 Plus. So you can kind of mix and match. If you buy one bike in a 29 inch setup, you can change to Plus tires if you so desire. There is adjustability in the chainstay as well, on that note. Now, the chainstay length is about 435mm, but you've got an extra 13mm of adjustability in the CNC machine slide outs, is what Pace Cycles call these. And they basically allow the rear wheel to shift backwards so you can fit in that bigger 29-inch wheel, or depending on the width of tyre, just shift it around depending on where you need the clearance. We've got it slammed all the way forward, so in the shortest position. With that 435mm rear centre length, it provides really nice kind of snappy, agile handling, corners really, really well. It's not the longest bike, so if you go into the details in terms of geometry, it's a 418mm reach on the medium-sized frame. As I said before, there's small, medium and large. 418, which isn't huge for a medium trail bike these days. There are some brands that are sort of pushing 430, 440, 450. So in comparison to those bikes or some of the more modern bikes on the market, it is a little bit shorter. What that does on the trail though is it means this is a really nimble bike to ride. So it's easy to pick up the front wheel if you need to kind of lob it over rocks or pop a manual if you're into that sort of thing. Not that I would be. But it's really easy to throw around if you need to on tight, twisty, natural terrain. So we're not talking smooth kind of gentle arc bike trail center trails. We're talking like steep, awkward, natural, rugged stuff. This bike just slices it up really, really well. And it's kind of a nice reminder that having the absolute longest bike possible is not necessarily the best option for all types of riding. So this bike's been a really nice reminder of that. We've got it set up here with a custom build kit. So we've got DT Swiss rims, we've got Shimano XT hubs. You'll notice that this has the Di2 group set, XT Di2 electronic shifting. David actually reviewed this group set again on singletrackworld.com. If you hit the reviews tab, you'll be able to read the full review of this bike and also that group set as well. It's a 2x11 system, but it's got one shifter, which is super, super neat. So it's got an automatic shifting front derailleur. Once you get to a certain point on the cassette, the front derailleur automatically downshifts or upshifts, which is really, really clever. It means you can have one right-hand shifter that operates 22 gears and an enormous gear range. I think it's 514% off the top of my head. So bigger than SRAM Eagle 12 speed, but still one shifter, which is really neat. And that means on the left side, you can still run your under the bar dropper post remote, which is really, really neat. So yeah, it's a bit of a, I suppose, a different build kit than what some people might build this frame up with. But it's important to note that this frame, although it's got, as I said, a fairly progressive head angle, tapered head tube, it's got those CNC machine slide outs on the back there. It's also got stealth dropper post routing as well. It's still quite traditional in the form that there's external routing for the gears and brakes. It's got a threaded bottom bracket, there's ISCG tabs there, it'll take a front derailleur. So it's modern, but at the same time, it's not pushing any of the really new standards. It's kind of sticking with tried and tested, which is quite nice. And yeah, so that's a bit of a look at the RC127 Plus. Have we got any other questions come through, Mark?
Price?
Oh yes, good question. £575 gets you a frame. Don't ask me what the complete bikes are because I'm not sure. We've tested a complete custom build kit. So $575 will get you one of these frames. Comes with a few bits and pieces, a really nice CNC machine seat clamp. You've got a DT Swiss RWS through axle on the back, boost spacing on the back, I should point out. Comes with the slide out, so it's single speed ready if you want to do that. Or you can simply use those slide outs to adjust the chainstay length and the geometry. So yeah, there you go. I believe there's a few different colors as well. We've got this sort of very dark olive kind of army green / gray, which is pretty subtle. Orange stickers, which are nice, but there are a few different options. Oh, one thing I should point out, which is quite unique for a steel frame, is this head tube. Now, on a lot of steel frames that are running tapered tapered steerer tubes, they run a 44mm diameter head tube, which is straight the whole way. Pace doesn't do that though. They're running an actual tapered steel head tube, which is not that common. It runs an external headset cup on the bottom and the top to fit the tapered fork steerer inside, but a really kind of elegant tapered head tube there, which I quite like. It's quite shapely rather than just the blocky kind of 44mm option. So just a little point there to let you know. But we've been, as I said about the tyres on this bike, we've been testing it both with 2.6-inch Schwalbe knobby nicks, front and rear, which is how David reviewed the bike. Since then, I've put on the 2.8-inch Minion DHR on the front and a 2.4-inch wide trail DHR on the back as well. kind of kicks it back a little bit further, slackens the head angle, drops the B a touch as well. So you've got a load of adjustability by changing the tyre setup, fork travel, and chainstay length on the back to kind of tweak the handling to how you like to ride. So yeah, very, very versatile indeed. Cool as. That'll do, huh? All right, well, I hope that's answered any questions you've got there. If you've got further questions and you're tuning into this after we've finished the live broadcast, drop them into the comment section and one of us will make sure we try and get the answers for you. If you want to read the full review of this bike, jump on singletrackwheel.com. We've had a load of fun riding this. Really versatile, fun trail hardtail. As I said, it's just a really good mountain bike. Not a downhill bike, not a cross-country race bike. It's just a bike built for mountain biking, which we're really into. So jump on the website, check out the full review, and if you've got any questions, drop them in the comment section below, and we'll try and answer them for you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Will from Singletrack Magazine, and we'll see you soon. Tooroo.